Can we just take a second to just say what the what just happened? This was an isekai first for me. I don't think I've ever had this happen to me. In hindsight, I should have expected him to say, "Not today," and shoot that fool down. And I think it's probably a combination of I was misremembering a bit about the whole GoldenEye monster stuff. I was like, oh man, I don't think he can use his ability on Humanity's Strongest over here. But then I was thinking to myself as it went on, I was like, oh no way, like, I actually think our boy doesn't think it will work. Like, it's not worth the gamble. Like, he was always approaching closer and closer to this man as the conversation went on. But when they set up the agreement, you're going up against someone who basically says, I'm looking for the best thrill possible. If you're actually going to say that if you let me live, I will be strong enough someday to kill you, that's a challenge that actually will give my life a thrill. Crazy bastard, but it makes sense. And the fact that as he turns, because here's the thing, they are fast. They whip that javelin down at like lightning speed. So closing in the distance and waiting for them to turn around to then say, gotcha bitch, I'm actually taking care of you today. I was not expecting that, and I can't recall the last time I've seen an isekai make me totally convinced that we were gonna have a rematch, because it's always we get the rematch later. I didn't think our boy was up to it yet, and he casually eliminated Humanity's Strongest. The way my mouth dropped, because the whole time I'm thinking he can't do it, only for him to do it. I have full live reactions over on Patreon if you want to see my, mind break in real time. If it's over there exclusively. Good news too, we only had, I think, 2 scenes of the random 3D talking. Thank God, because if we would have had that conversation in every other frame, they were 3D just blabbering away, it would have distracted so much. But what an episode. Piggy Maru? The best named slime in anime history? We get to see what he's capable of. I thought we were going symbiotic with it, like the symbiote from Spider-Man, because when he like connects to him, right, it's like this really cool design. I'm thinking he's gonna wipe those dragons, the wyverns out of the sky. Nope, he increases his range. Thinking about the possibility of just poison, paralyze, and sleep. 3 of the most basic bitch spells you would use in an RPG. And the fact that they're finding ways to make it so similar to my instant death ability is just bringing me such joy. So, as he says in this episode, it's like, it's very hard to activate, it takes some time, and also drains his mana quite a bit. But as we can see, if there's a large ass crowd of people that he needs to take care of, using Piggy Maru like that is a really entertaining way. And I think most people probably assume that Piggy Maru would be more of like a combat addition rather than like an enhancement to be like Mr. Fantastic, so he can be like, freeze bitch, paralyze bitch, gotcha bitch. Like, that's basically what he's doing with Piggy Maru, and it's fantastic. But that whole conversation, our MC is the farthest thing from an idiot. He's very cautious, but he also is smart. So he starts having a conversation, and every so often he takes a little bit of a step. Not enough to be like, oh, he's trying to jump him. But when the guy over here is basically saying like, he wants to kill us, he's waiting for his moment, he can see right through any BS. So the idea that he has this conversation, and apparently he has like a lie detector built into his cranium, so everything he tells him is technically not a lie. But because of what we know, you're like, okay, like, everything he's saying, like, at face value, if you have no knowledge of this guy, it makes it sound right. Like, hey, I'm special to the goddess. You absolutely are special, goddess. She tossed your ass away. I'm different than the other heroes. He is different. He's only E rank, right? Like, the way he lies and bullshits, without actually lying or bullshitting, but it's just like, keeping half-truths kind of on the table in order to get trust to kind of raise a little bit and his guard to drop a little, because you weren't getting out of that situation in a normal way. And the idea that you're going up against someone who is Humanity's Strongest, probably hasn't had a good fight in a long time, and wants to find someone who's capable of that, and then here's this guy saying, I'm not that yet, but give me time and I will be. He's crazy enough to say, sure, why not? Because no one's expecting that this man can pull something from thin air that would one-shot him, essentially. Even though it was a long-term one-shot, like, that poison took a bit and he fought through it as long as possible. Don't think anyone would have done much better. But the idea that as soon as, like, when he said paralyzed, I didn't think it was working. I thought, nope, he played his cards too soon, and then they all just drop like flies. And I was truly bamboozled, because in all my years watching Isekai, even the characters who are okay with killing, to me this entire moment just felt like it wasn't his time, like he wasn't at the level to take care of humanity's strongest. And if he's able to take care of humanity's strongest, the only reason the goddess isn't currently dead is because apparently she's immune to those abilities. But eventually he's going to unlock something that's going to work. Like, there's a reason why that goddess tossed him away. She's probably scared of something he's able to do. It's just, you don't want him to be able to get to that point, because that will be the one person who can go against me, so eliminate him sooner rather than later. Very interesting stuff, but like, the fact that we're now 6 episodes in and we have a character who's so okay with killing yet still doesn't come across as a psychopath edgelord, it's good. Like, this episode was good. Easily the best out of the 6, and it has me way more excited for the second half of this anime than I already was. Probably best produced. There was a couple of moments that were like, okay, but do we still need that 3D talking randomly? And even the other 3D we saw in the episode was more than acceptable. Honestly, if they didn't have the random shots that just casually switched to 3D back to 2D for dialogue, this show would be probably considered one of the better produced ones of the season, because the art direction, the animation, everything, like, it is a very good looking show a lot of the time. It's just when it's distracting, goddamn is it distracting. Luckily, this episode wasn't one of them. I like this. I like this a lot. People can say what they want. They can say isekai trash, blah blah blah. All I'm saying is, this show is hitting a sweet spot that I didn't expect to be hit anytime soon. And anyone who followed me when I covered My Instant Death Ability and why I love that show, I'm getting a similar but different vibe from this show, and I really appreciate how they're making someone objectively busted, to the point that I'm convinced nothing other than currently the goddess could stand in his way. I know he'll surpass that someday, but despite that, they still have me excited not knowing exactly what's gonna come next. This show is good. I really, really like it, and Berserk. We unlocked Berserk. His final skill for poison is gonna be Goddess Slayer. I'm convinced. Thoughts down below. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here. Of course, ring that bell, and like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll give you a video shout out. Alright, so today we got Ricardo, Stinamore, Kaikun, Twin Cats 24, and Fan 2003. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and you all have a good one.